Wildcard have a chance to assert themselves as a top team here at Reload by qualifying for the playoffs. The top 8, of course, we're playing here in Rio for a chance to play in front of the infamous Brazilian crowd. Their stakes for this match could not be higher. Team Secret actually edge out the advantage.
Okay.
Curious, considering that they themselves, even should they win this match, are not guaranteed to make main stage, as the other 2 matches happening later today may play spoils for poor Secret.
They are not guaranteed, but they're willing to get a dub here to put themselves in the right position. Of course, do all that they can do in their power to get the most amount of bullets on the board. Secret played this map, Consulate. You and I cast it in the, I don't know, the first or second day. It's been a while. It was a good game, and Secret were good at both playing, yes, the entry style of Consulate, but also the strategical side. Going on one, you know, for example, the top 4 attack, they were going admin side, then the armor hub and see a window that plant out of nowhere. We had a great use of free cam in that round. So many highlights from Secret, but now it's a different ballgame up against North Americans of Wildcard. We've seen a Kaid ban and a Blitz so far. They're taking their sweet time on this second rotation.
Another shield.
A double down Blackbeard, maybe. Let's see what it is. Blackbeard smoke. Smoke bans become a staple of Consulate, it seems. It's like the 3rd or 4th time we see the ban.
Yeah. No, I really like the idea of banning out that smoke. I also wouldn't be too surprised to see Secret ban out a Goyo come round 3. We're already seeing a Tachanka teased out by Dash for the top floor. I'm surprised to see it over the Goyo. We'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, the way that this map plays out, I think does change a lot depending on the bans. The top floor, it really can be so challenging to take control of it. You have essentially 2 main schools of thought. You either do a full map clear from the admin side over, or you just go, guys, we're going to send it in CEO and go for a rush plan. That's where the smoke comes in. Right here on those CEO windows, that's where that smoke is the most powerful operator at denying that plan.
The second most powerful operator, James, because I think Tachanka is stronger. There are 3 bomb side of which Tachanka excels on. This is one of them because teams will go armor in, you smoke, they jump out. The armor in, you smoke, they jump out. And what do? Then you armor in, smoke them out, and by the 4th time there's no smokes left. With Tachanka, you have 20 Molotovs, which means you cannot just cheese a CEO window plant. What this means is unless Tachanka gets killed, or you have insane vertical control below in piano, you need to go for admin attack or not plant CEO defense.
The way you're speaking, it sounds like there was a statue of Tachanka on that hill in Rio, not of Jesus Christ that you saw yesterday on your hike.
Oh, no, but it's just one of those, like, I really respect when teams that play like a unique operator that just works for one particular bomb site, and Tachanka is this for top floor. Now, Spiker and Wildcard were hiding this operator of pulse in the beginning of the round so that it wouldn't get droned out by Secret. That's gonna, of course, give a bit of information. You can run around, check the move, are they going admin, are they going CEO? And Secret, we know that to do the mental game. They poke and pry and apply a bit of pressure everywhere, and they rarely show exactly what their plan is until the 3, 2, 1 go sign. Right now, Vert downstairs, Doom, who's playing demos once more, looking for that CEO player, but we know it's a Pulse looking straight at him from basement.
The Pulse is so deadly in this map. So much soft floor. Those C4s very impactful. Out comes a little bonk of bees from the Grim. Nothing really as of yet. Still so much info. I mean, not only does he have the potential to go for a C4 here, he doesn't find anything. That was a bit of a mistake there. Well played from Doom. Just keep at bay any potential threat from Wildcard. Poor Spike is now considering, does he overstay his welcome? He's kind of ineffectual here. Meanwhile, the rest of Secret is starting to make that push. Funnily enough, he does get that kill right after we switch off the operator.
No one's hitting Doom. No one's opening this Garrett. Soft on, no one's going down yellow staircase. Dash finds a second. I mean, Secret, you gotta help each other.
This is awkward here. Nice bait there, but Dash, Major Champ, you expect him to win those. Mowgli had a nice idea, but the push from Secret has completely fallen apart.
It is. It's so simplistic, so linear. Adrian is good for 1, though that's Dash off the ball, but the issue is Monty, normally great operator, in a 2v4, not the right thing you want necessarily. You want more firepower, ability to get a kill. Right now, it's all down to Adrian, who's out of the building. Savage stuck in a Guman, taking a whole lot of damage. They're trying to set up the bait play, but look at this again. Once more, the Pulse with perfect intel.
So the team can rotate on the basis of that. They know, okay, it's a double stack on the yellow stairs. That was almost an angle available. These Azami Kiba barriers make it a bit awkward, but the Monty just keeps on sending it forward. Can't shoot the C4 in time. Kansan jumps up and finds the final 2 kills. Wildcard off to a good start.
I really want to see Secret now change right off the rip. Invest more into getting the first step done. If they want to clear the player that's playing close by CEO windows, dash on the Tashanka in that round, help Doom accomplish that first step. It was Doom, alone piano, no help. Then they were droning farm a little bit on the hatch upstairs, that was it. Nobody went down yellow staircase, nobody opened up the soft wall, and the pulse exposed his position way earlier by popping that C4 very early on. They knew there was a pulse downstairs. They could have taken Monty, just walk down there, try and get that kill, then play the round, 5 versus 4, then go back upstairs. They had so many options, and they kind of, again, just sold Doom. So when I'm critical of his stats, and then Foxay says, he's playing for the team. No, the team is failing Doom and not playing around him enough in that round. There wasn't much he could do in that one.
It's rough. Yeah, it just started with that and it fell apart henceforth. Wildcard are going down to the basement. Now, one big hitting operator that Secret missed out on banning is that Miro. Now, she's not great on every bomb site on this map, but on this basement, she really locks down those yellow stairs and those garage pushes from the breach. It forces you to play vertically. It forces you to clear out those positions, which is a lot easier said than done. And of course, how do you counter vertical play? You go and roam. You make Secret have to do so much work just to get that single step of vertical play. And we're seeing Baby Shark here on the Vigil already doing that.
That's what I like about the lineup here. Nomad and the Monty can take map control, lock down those tanks, and buy you some space and safety inside the building. But Construct, it can be very hard to enter just the first room. You see it, they break down a door, impact upstairs, forcing the attackers outside once more. So if Wildcard could just keep doing this, they see an entry access, they do get over the penalty, they can keep stalling for time and forcing it into a bad situation. I guess the saving grace is they do have the Maverick. So whatever wall deny there is, for example the Bandit, they can send the guy out, stop torching up the wall, and even if you don't get like a way into the bomb site, it is going to apply a little bit of bomb site pressure itself and stop Wildcard from like running around freely. But it's Bay upstairs in the Capcan. It is Baby Shark top floor, the 2 roamers working together.
Bay's been spotted a few times here as well. He's being held at the moment from outside that Visa single window. I believe that was Noah. Meanwhile, Doom is watching the deeper angle. Wildcard have Bay essentially cornered now. Secret know exactly where he is.
Oh help, there's no rotate.
Yeah, but he might be able to make a rotate for him. Meanwhile, amidst the chaos, Adrian falls to Baby Shark upstairs, continuing to be a thorn in their side. On this roam, see, the thing for Wildcard here is they don't have to commit to this. They can just continue falling back piece by piece. Look at the clock. Time is ticking away. Meanwhile, Secret decided to flip the switch and trying to contest the mirror here in servers. Monty's a good ingredient for that. Oh, dangerous.
Oh, careful now.
Dash cannot afford to reinforce that wall while that Monty is staring him down.
He really wanted to, but again, you said it's not worth the risk. And even if he did, there's a semi charge right behind them, no real wall deny. Monty finding good value though in the hallway. Where's the crossfire? Not yet established, and Miro gets the kill.
Oh, Dash. Can he hold down the fort? A C4 comes out. No. Savage down to a sliver of HP. Oh, Secret. That is not going to work out for you. Pushing from the same direction. Wildcard have no issues dealing with that.
That's why I pick up my boy Dash. You melee one player, the shield of course to stagger him, flick over, get the kill in the second again, and then Monty forced into extending that shield or just die into a gunfight. Secret will call the tactical timeout after being down 0-2.
Guys, listen to me. It will be good. We'll be doing some of the different stuff as well for the other side once we are doing the third ban, so that's fine. The thing that I want you guys to focus right now is recompose yourself, breathe once I'm speaking, and focus into the flanks. Let them come to us and we punish them coming, Let's try to keep it up with the plan that we have, and we let the person that will be punishing them come into us because they won't do shit. We are trying to move around to try to punish them, and we are being punished onto that. We have a good plan, and I trust our plan as well, and I'm pretty sure you guys as well. So let's go with that. Let's try to follow into that side. Piano now. What you guys want to go for? The bait or the the bait or the other?
So there's a lot of things that are being said, of course, as we always often see. Compose yourself, breathe, like don't be so tensed up. And talking about like how they want their opponents of Wildcard to make the mistakes. Looking back at that round though, I don't feel like Wildcard were showing that they want to run into Secret. It was baiting and falling back. If anything, I think Secret, what they're missing is what we call the good old hammer and anvil. What that means is that one part of the map, the Monty for example, will push the roamers in a direction. Then you have somebody holding the cutoff somewhere. Let's say, for example, the main lobby door where Bay was playing, Secret were missing an anvil. They kept shoving the roamers back, shoving them back. But what's going to happen? They're going to end up back by the bomb site in a 5v5.
A lot of ways you can do that. Have someone on the spiral stairs, bottom
Yeah.
for example. I mean, it's easier said than done.
It is way easier said than done, but I feel like if their plan is to let Wildcard walk into them, I don't feel like that's what Wildcard was trying to do at all.
I mean, so many ways that Secret could have done it on the roam as well. For example, having someone outside the lobby door when you were forcing, I can't remember who it was on the roam, back further and further. Visa side and Tellers all the way towards Piano. If you have someone pushing from Piano, from Yellow Stairs, have someone pushing from outside the lobby, there's more to be met there.
Yeah.
But Secret need to tighten things up. At least now Twister's had a chance to talk to them. We saw how impactful it was in the FearX versus BDS game. Those tactical timeouts, immediately after Lilun called hers for BDS, they won, I believe it was 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Same for FearX, they won a slew of rounds in a row. And speaking of rounds, every round counts here for Secret.
Oh, 100%.
So it's going to come down to round difference. Even if Secret win this game, they are not guaranteed to make it to the playoffs. It's going to come down to, do they have the round difference advantage over DZ and Furia? So they need to make sure that they don't let any more of these slip through their fingers.
Haggard Camus Mowgli. Right now, Secret very again push from one side of the map. There's no cutoff. They're going 2 players admin, 1 meeting balcony, Savage outside the building. But this is fine because they're clearing utility and they're picking apart the strong areas of the map and weakening them for Wildcard. So when Secret want to go for a push here, again, we're forcing back these defenders, but we're missing a spiral player. There's no cutoff. So Bay can safely fall back if he wants to and keep baiting out all these utility, destroying Flores drones, Brava drones. And half down is spent. Secret, they've only just finished using their drones.
It does feel like they've made good headway, though. And in terms of util clear, yeah, Wildcard are probably pretty happy because they're just going to play conservative off of it. They're not going to try and fight for their lives. But if I'm Secret, I'm pretty happy with the Brava and the Flores. You've cleared a lot of this control. I guess the problem is, like, they don't necessarily have a poised way to get onto site, and they still haven't cleared Vert. So, yeah, they've made good headway. It's just, you might tick off 4 items. There's still 20 more on the list in a minute to do it.
Yeah, you see Baby Shark upstairs on the Vert, holding the breach, walking in lobby as well. They got the sense they can use later on, but they gotta get there with 5 attackers alive, and right now, it's looking like that. Top spot control for the attackers.
Mowgli
comes through. Free kill for Mowgli, second in meeting as well.
He's aware he might be able to find a big kill. Noah, though, takes a hell of a lot of damage to that player in the little cutout of meeting. It's Baby Shark. He's hungry for more SMG 12, but Mowgli wins it in the close range with the para. A big kill there for Secret. Numbers on their side. Low HP on a couple of players, and that does mean Dash here with that devilish SMG 11 might have something. He wins his fight on Noah, goes deep for more, gets it through the Sens gate, and now it's all up to him. A 3K for Mowgli, but guess what? The diffuser is down. And this is a major champion we're talking about. Dash knows exactly how to handle this.
15 seconds.
Here in his home of Brazil, he stands firm. SMG 11, what are you doing, Mowgli? Where are you going? Adrian, you gotta step up now! Because Dash has just made your team look like chumps. There's no way he can plan in time. And Dash doesn't even need the ace. He's clutched up for Wildcard, and they're coming up aces and spades.
Position and game played perfectly by Dash in that round. Good information from his teammates as well. Hey, they called the top spiral. He's going for a flank. That's why he swung aggressively in towards that bomb side door. He could isolate the 1v1. After that, just play time once more, play positioning. Secret are sticking a plan, hoping that Wildcard will make the wrong play instead of coming off the plan and going for a gunfight. Not sure if they're shook or if they're insecure about their own gun skill capabilities. It started so well for them. Mowgli with the 2K. Then this. Savage, he sticks it despite knowing that Dash was there. Noah was injured, not confirmed. He was likely calling, hey, behind you, careful, watch out. There's a beep.
God.
So they have partial information.
Info the whole time. Like you said,
I love you.
Why do you import a player from Brazil, a major champion?
You're
That's
so
why.
damn good, man.
He's just by far and away the best player in the
It's
server
region
right
diff.
now. Yeah.
It's I think somebody might have celebrated too hard there and unplugged something. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
A worthy reaction for a huge clutch in a round. I mean, that was, technically speaking, in terms of like what happened to Gunskill, it was a 1v5.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
Yes, there are more people alive, but he got 4 kills. If the last guy starts planting, he gets the 5th for the ace.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially an ace there for Dash.
Yeah.
He put the team on his shoulders, and he made Secret look a little silly. I mean, Twister's already called that tactical timeout. What do you do after you take a tactical, and then your team immediately just gets completely shafted like that?
Now you gotta hope that one of the players will have the composure themselves to be the coach. Say, guys, listen,
Yeah.
don't worry about that one. We actually won the round, and then we lost it. Because there's 2 ways to lose a round.
Is
You
there
lose it,
enough
lose it, or you win,
leadership?
lose it.
Is there enough leadership on this team to do that? I mean,
That's the thing.
The oldest players on this team are Joom and Mowgli. Guess what? They're 22 years old. It's one of the youngest youngest teams at the event at the moment. Adrian
Yeah.
only 19 years of age. Savage and Noah 21. A very youthful team, and while there's a decent number of seasons of experience on players like Savage, of course Mowgli as well, been to a lot of events at this point, played on the stage a few times, a lot of these players, it's very different to be able to keep your cool when something like that happens.
I know Joom can be the type of person to say, guys, don't worry about it, it's okay. But he's had such a, I'm not going to say it again, like subpar individual performance. He might not be in the right state of mind to worry about the team performance because he knows he has to focus on his own game right now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to Mowgli. And I mean, he's been all smiles this event. At least when you meet him. Super happy guy.
True.
But in the server?
I mean, he has a reputation in the server, let's be honest.
Yeah.
He has a reputation of being a player that either goes massive or goes nowhere.
Yeah.
And
Attackers must locate
does he
and
have the
defuse
mental
bomb.
cool to chill out when you've just lost 2 rounds embarrassingly, you take your tactical, and then you lose to a clutch like that? I mean, Dash, for God's sake, is 8-1. More kills than the rest of his team combined.
Yeah, you said 2 rounds in a row, but I think all 3. I think it's been 3 rounds that have been basically embarrassing losses for Secret and how it's gone down. Lack of teamwork and communication, lack of helping each other, blundering that 4 versus 1 basically. Like, there's a lot of things here that are not looking all that hot, but they can still turn it. It's constantly attacking rounds. You just need 1 or 2 for the side swap.
I just had a look at the player scores right now. Dash has 8 out of the 18 kills that have happened in this game so far in 3 rounds. Isn't that utterly insane?
It is, and that's the thing. If you shut down Dash, what happens afterwards? And with this start of the round, Dash on very low HP, no Doc, no Thunderbird inside.
Bless you.
I got hiccups right there out of nowhere.
That's what happens when you're watching Dash clutch. He makes you hold your breath. Oh, good nade. Get exposed to that. Boss G is looking for something cheeky. I like the way that Secret is slowing things down here.
They let them run away though.
Yeah. It's because they're scared, that's why.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know there's a C4 that can be pre-ripped here, but again, you're happily surrendering the enemies to fall back, when I think in a lot of situations for a lot of different teams, you want to fight them on the fallback to get hammer anvil them somewhere. Because you're losing time, you're losing resources, you're losing a lot of drones right now. But yet, it's a 5v5 standoff. Bay, Boss G playing by that soda machine in the admin hallway, looking for a potential retake, perhaps again droning downstairs, and he's aggressing forward.
This should be a freebie.
There's a flourish droning.
Does he
can
push
just go for it?
Yeah, SMG-12 is the way to play this. Takes him down.
Again, no cover.
Yeah, and guess what? Now Secret have lost all of that control. The second player looking to swing. It's Mowgli has the advantage, but guess who's got the better weapon in close
C4.
range? Baby Shark from downtown. What a nice C4. Oh my God, Secret, you got your work cut out for you now. You've lost control, and it looks like you've lost the round. A consolation or 2. I don't know where you're going, Bay. Went for a little bit of a trip outside. Got some fresh air, and then got freshly taken out. Monty and Ying to try and piece this together. No util to speak of. Good luck.
Try and plant and bait the swing. We see Baby Shark nice and sound in the bomb site. Has the position unlocked. Ying swings the door. Yes, no, he's baiting it.
Oh!
He trades! The one tap!
Unreal, but it doesn't even matter because the rest of Wildcard can just cruise on through. This is a dominant performance so far from the North Americans. 4 rounds in a row. Secret looking worse and worse as this game goes on.
I mean, it's just, again, a mini play that wins Wildcard the round. Bay pushes through the visual gadget active, gets the Flores. Baby Shark tossed the C4 above the reinforcement in break room here to then assist Bay. Look, see here, Baby Shark above the wall. The C4 saves him.
Oh my god.
That mini play right there wins them the round. It's that easy, it's that simple. And it's just, Wildcard, they've always had these different mini plays in motion. Whether it's the post below, a vigil push up, the one-tap trade is nasty. Oh man. But yeah, it's the most frustrating of ways to lose because it's one of those, we're fine, we're stable, we're okay. If you're secret, boom, something goes wrong. And it's disastrous. Like Flores dying the way he did.
Yeah.
And it's not even Flores' fault, it's like there's no cover, there's no second person, like there's a lot of things you can point your finger towards.
It's funny because it reminds me a little bit about that BDS Furex game where the call was, guys, they're getting really cocky, they're contesting, they're slowing down. Secret tried to do that kind of, but the problem is that only works if the eventual strat that you're going for isn't one that's really time-consuming. And on the basement, they're doing full roam clears, right? That's a time-consuming strat, which means if you want to play slowly, you're going to run out of time, especially when you're running out of players. And guess what? It's the hard breach. In fact, the only dedicated hard breach operator. All we got is 2 tin can openers on Noah. Secret are absolutely shafted this round.
Yeah, again, one thing goes wrong. It's the most disastrous thing that could basically happen. You're in tree 0-4. Noah's had a great tournament so far, also very quiet on the server. Mowgli and Savage, the only ones like actively on the scoreboard. So again, now Wildcard can sit back, make them work for it. Vigil hiding in CEO, has a scanner, you got Bay with the Capcan traps as well. Gugabigol comes out so early in this round, the attackers are barely inside the building. They're making good headway though, but Vigil answered the phone call earlier. They have no idea that he's here.
Oh,
and he's out.
Jumps straight out, gets back inside safely. No cutoff here from Secret. Reloading. Noah was hunting him down, even a few shots through the floor. We really do need to see Noah have a big entry here for Secret. He's actually the 4th highest rated player at the tournament.
Exactly.
Only 1 kill so far in this game.
Oh, I hate this. You better barricade that door, Baby Shark. If you're gonna rip down that barricade, okay, you gotta play yellow stairs. That's better. You can't rip down a barricade and not put it back up. That's the rule. He's gonna hold yellow though. The exterior door has been closed. Last and final call there from the Dokkaebi. But I will say this, Secret, they have really sped up their attack right now. Good bit of verticality, top floor control. They know that all the 5 defenders are downstairs in the bomb site, so they got the right tools, except Thermite got spawn peeked. They have no way really into the bomb site besides a staircase or a hatch drop, which is not gonna get me pretty.
Oh, Noah, you better be checking your angles. Baby Shark caught once again in the corner, but still wins his fight. SMG 12. So untouchable in those close range engagements. There's just about nothing you can do against it.
Yeah.
Not to mention he also got that spawn pick with the K1A, which is a much better long range weapon. Wildcard up 2 players, 40 seconds for Secret, and Baby Shark will eventually get taken out, but at some serious cost to Secret. Adrian's now low HP. As you said, it's going to need to be a funnel here from the Europeans.
Yeah, gonna brute forces into the door, plasmic smoke out, Jumi at 10 position, can we get it done? Mowgli vertical gets a kill as well.
That's a big opening though. Maybe there's a chance. Sneaking inside, the vertical dominance still in control from the Frenchman. June forcing that plant down, seemingly no way to deny it. Over goes the C4, he fakes it and still loses his life.
The gap.
Dash has once again found the gap. He's unbelievable. This is why you pick up a Brazilian. Wildcard are getting hard carried as this man dashes around the server.
It's a one-man effort right now in these rounds, man. Dash is unbelievable. The C4 reaches, Jumi sprints away, he still gets caught and then finds the perfect timing to walk past the verticality in towards pipes and gets not one, but both of the final 2 kills from the door, from the hatch drop. And again, Secret. It looks pretty damn good until it doesn't. This Kansen and Dash in a 2v2 is so winnable. And there's a lot of, again, things you can go, does Secret plant in a different spot? Do they go for kills? Do they have a guy watching the C4? There's so many small things that Secret can change and do differently in that round. I'm not saying they did the wrong thing from like an overall perspective, but in the terms of what happened in the outcome, it was the wrong thing that they did. Again, they keep choosing the wrong thing, or Wildcard keep punishing them in the right, perfect way.
Yeah. even tiny minutia, like
10 seconds to go.
Joom, he snuck through.
Yeah,
great
it was
stuff,
good.
started planting.
Oh, he got the kill.
He heard the C4 ripple. He sensed the C4 was coming.
runs away.
He runs away into the C4
Yeah.
and dies. And then there's no punish. That smoke was actually in assistance for Dash. It just gave him the gap that he needed to sneak behind enemy lines and punish the final two players. One of the best performances from an individual that I've seen in a long time. I know we've only played 5 rounds, but 11 and 2? An impact on every single one of those kills?
There's no exit frags with Dash. It's all high-value targets.
Absolutely.
I think you said that Secret would benefit from a 7-0, right? Like winning 7-0, not losing 0-7?
I know, right?
Yeah, now it's Wildcard, who just needs any sort of victory.
Ironically, the team that is on track to win 7-0 is not the one that needed it at all.
But they're looking mighty good. Savage wants to again back on the Monty, trying to stabilize this roster. Doom on the Armorer. We know they like this kind of approach. Normally for a top floor attack. This time it's for Lobby. They got options to work with, but again, they will start out the same way. Drone work floors and Brava hack some stuff, but Wildcard, they're prepared.
Yeah,
they sniped the drone down the hallway.
I mean, the last time Secret did the same attack, it really did not work. They need to do something different.
I mean,
The Brava has not had an impact. I mean, yes, it's been hacking a lot of these gadgets. Has that mattered? I like this. The Flores taking away that shield from Bay. Now they need to focus up on Bay, but they don't have a Kappa Tower. Where are the grenades? There's nothing to actually force him out. He just falls on back.
I really want to say from Bay, I know he's running through the score, but this guy is burning so much util and playing that min-max in a position so well every single round and buying space for Wildcard. Cadena's going out, Amoro's in for a backstab. Can they get a kill?
Oh, nice, but the SMG-11 might not do the job for Joom. He finally does get the down on Kansan, looks for another one, doesn't find it. And there's a fight back here. Bay still unaddressed. Dash as well, retaking the top floor. It looked like Secret had an inkling, had an idea, but Wildcard will not let them stand. Another kill for Savage,
One's
this
down.
time with a pistol. Maybe clutchable, but in theory, he's trapped here. Wildcard need to be careful not to throw this one. Dash is low HP. Kansan on the floor. They've got a crossfire. They just need to hold. Savage is low as well.
I like that attempt there. Shield on the back, go for a kill, but no, says the shotgun.
And that's 6 in a row for Wildcard. This has not been a contest. This has been a slaughter. And against all odds, Wildcard are the ones coming up big. I mean, a lot of people, myself included, looked at Wildcard this tournament and said, look, guys, the only reason they're here is that they're a partnered team.
Technically true.
Secret on the other side have made majors before, have made 6 invitationals. Wildcard, you looked at their run so far. I mean, they beat Scars, sure, whatever. Lost to Falcons, expected. Beating a less than peak form G2 and Space Station.
Yeah.
We were like, is there an asterisk next to those results?
Yeah.
But having a convincing win like this over Secret, there's no doubt in my mind that they deserve this placement over Secret, who themselves have had some pretty big scalps. They beat Liquid and Loud and M80, the last of which was a very dominant showing, though not nearly as dominant as this.
Also, like, with this victory, okay, we haven't won yet. Okay, if they were to win here against Secret, that's gonna feel damn good going into main stage. The confidence building, your things are working, your prep work is solid. Someone like Bay, who has less experience, really shining in the server. Again, I'm gonna say he's 2 and 4, but he's playing his role perfectly to enable the rest of his team, and Wildcard are playing so well around it. Even if Dash wasn't 13 and 2, I still think this would have been a pretty safe, comfortable spot for Wildcard. Probably like a 4-2-half on the defense, which is again right around where you want to be, if not slightly beating the odds of the average outcome. So it's solid. Now it's side swap. Secret, they do have a chance here to show us what they're made of. Even if they were to lose, it's better to lose 3-7, 4-7, and get some rounds on the board than to just roll over and lose outright 7 rounds straight. On the favorable side of defense, they banned their operator, Secret double shield, Monty Blackbeard, Wildcard, they banned information and the entry gadget of Fenrir to again make it easier to progress the map. They don't gotta play Twitch now, they don't gotta play IQ, they can open up the operator pool a lot more, and they're quite explosive, right? They got Soft Freeze in the Ash, they got Capital Fire for the corners, they got Grim Beast for information, and Sense for a possible plant entry.
Can they make it flawless?
Yeah, that's the challenge now, isn't it?
They've certainly won the mental game at the moment. I don't even know how Secret can come back from this. Doom and Noah both on just 1 kill so far. Frustration It's been the name of the game for the Europeans here. Oh, June is getting a
ratting.
bit cheeky. When you're down 1-6 on your scoreboard, and when the round count is 0-6 against you, is the best thing to do really to hide in a corner. A C4, this could be big. The timing was so not there. That's so unfortunate. Kansan does get injured. Is Mowgli going to be able to push for it? He's not, in all likelihood.
I'm not sure they knew he got injured or not, and there's other players in the perimeter as well. Oh.
Too hungry, too desperate. You're going to get punished if you play like that, June. That may be your last round, your last death of the tournament. Savage looking to get aggressive too, but there's nothing to be said for Secret. Wildcard holding the line.
Jum did get both Kansan and Bay on 20 health, give or take though, so this does set up Secret for a possible success of a round. They got a spare C4, Toxic Vapes, Boil Fire. A little bit of that can get 2 kills very easily. Second C4 goes out, they hit it once more, succeeds, he runs back into it actually. Dash almost dead now.
And Dash is the impact player, 13 kills. Can he find another? Wildcard looking to try and clear these corners, but Mowgli crosses back just in the nick of time. He falls back, Noah's found his. Dash, we look to you. After the heroics that you've achieved this game, can you give us something incredible, something inspiring? Spike has got info from his Bs, but it's not enough as of yet. Dash doesn't have the frags or flashes he was hoping. All up to Spiker. Gets down.
Kill. Needs 3 more. Again, the health bars of Mowgli and Savage oh so low, but time, utility, it's very much against Spiker. He's got no green bees to help him. No diffuser.
Secret look to shut down what has looked to be a flawless game from Wildcard. It all rests on the debutant. How do you make this work? Trying to bait shots, it doesn't matter. Noah's got him dead to rights, and Secret just barely breathe the first sigh of relief. They will not go down without a fight.
Wildcard, they got all the tools here at their disposal. Tag timeout as well, of course. This C4 was funny because like they hear the rip, they run away and they get hit by it. Kind of like Doom on that basement bombs that happens. Dash going for the wrong kind of trick shot, pulling out the hard canisters right before he swings. But I like that Secret are fighting back. They're being explosive, they're taking fights. I mean, Doom looked a little bit like desperation. He was going overly aggressive, but the rest of Secret weren't shy to follow up afterwards and say, we gotta hold our ground. They retook Soda Machine after the fire disappeared. They are having those aggressive keeper barriers as well. They're not just giving Wildcard any space to get comfortable.
Yeah, you can see Secret were pretty fired up after that. I'm glad. I just don't want to see them too dejected. It is a shame that it has been such a strong start for Wildcard because Secret really were gunning for a flawless win, or at the very least trying to get as much of a good round difference as possible. Unfortunately, like even if they are to win now, the best round difference they could get if they win the next 7 rounds is a +2, which is probably still not going to be enough to get them over the line, pending the results between Fury of FaZe and, of course, how DZ and G2 go later. Yeah. There's still a world where Secret make it to main stage, though, but there's no question they need to come back here and win this game. And when Wildcard have 5 more match points coming up, it seems too tall of a task to ask.
Thermal Thatcher on the breach. Blitz and Finka yellow door. This could possibly be a fast round if they want to do it, so Dash off the cam. I think they're going to rush this one, James.
Dash straight in through the yellow stairs. A smoke doesn't seem to be successful. Bay finds the opening kill. Wildcard have set the pace, but Secret know about it. It's the warden on the other side. And so Dash knows he can't commit to it, but a C4 does end his life, giving Secret a chance to reset, a chance to breathe. Bay knows it's his moment to step up, and he does. 1 kill. Makes it a 2v2 now for Wildcard, who have control of the site, but there's a bulletproof camera on his position. Bay's going to need to use an EMP, otherwise there's info. Ooh. However, the crossfire, the double peek, and Secret have found a second, looking for a lot more to bring this back into the realm of possibility.
Not sure if it was a mistake for Dash and Blitz to have diffuser, but he did carry it, taking it all the way down into cafeteria, and then nobody was following him aggressively behind. At least if they did, they died very early on. So we see here 1v1 against the warden, the one operator that he cannot kill. We all know that planting by the yellow door would have been relatively safe there. Only 1 C4 from that warden could have stopped it. I don't think they had the exact right situation of who plants, who covers figured out.
Yeah, and also they had 2 players covering from outside, one outside the breach and one outside yellow stairs. I think the yellow stairs play is forgivable because that's where the expected flank is, but you can't afford one outside the breach as well. That's essentially a post-plant position. You're getting ahead of yourselves. You need to guarantee that control of the bomb site first. You need to find those kills.
Get in the action.
Yeah, get into the action. So a little bit of a mistake there from Wildcard. Secret, though, they've maintained more composure than I was going to give them credit for to really point out something that I'm impressed by. I thought that they were kind of down and out, but...
No, not just yet.
Noah's had a few good rounds as well. He's somehow gone from 1-6 to 5-6. Savage is now even positive.
We're just missing Doom again. Like, that's kind of like the big player that normally like really shows up for this team.
Adrian's meant to be a solid player as well.
They're all solid players.
Well, in terms of his fragging capability, right? Adrian's for that, is he not?
Oh, he is. Maybe I'm overhyped on Doom because we're close like that, but still, I just feel like when you're playing Deimos Valkyrie, your top 2 operators, which you did before this game started, it's like you're expecting, when you are a fragger, you need to kind of frag. That's where most of your value comes from.
Yeah.
And he's playing Deimos almost every attack around going 0-4.
You can't be an entry fragger and say, well, I put down my utility.
no, it doesn't really work like that. And right now, Doom finds himself mute, of course, in defense, but a different ball game. But again, as always, looking for a play, a rat one at that, and I mean, this is a blitz, right? Oh, they have a yellow ping. If blitz jumps in, that's highly risky. I think yellow window is a lot safer here.
This is such a good read, but it's so well played by Kansan. I mean, it was a good idea from Jim. I'll give him credit, but he just... Yeah, it's a risk. He didn't give enough credit to Wildcard. In goes the repel. Spike is going for it. Meanwhile, Dash has that diffuser on side. He starts planting. Doesn't have to be aggressive here from Spiker. He finds one. He jumps back out again. Mowgli dropping down into Piano. He's found his kill, but it might be too late. It's just him against the world, and Wildcard finally closed the game. A domination over Team Secret is exactly what the North Americans needed. And guess what? Main stage for the first time for the 3 debutants on this roster.
And a beautiful final attack and victory as well, because in that one, everyone had a job and they knew what to do and where to be, and they played it perfectly. Intro kill on Doom first, execution, utility, plan goes down, it's perfect.
And Kansan, well, he's been around the block a few times. Dash, well, he's a bloody major champion, but Spiker, Bay, and Baby Shark, names that you probably have never heard of before, they'll be playing in front of the crowd here in Rio at their first ever international event. Wildcard are truly up there with the top echelon of Rainbow Six, and we'll break it all down after this.
Guys, I have to tell you a secret. Wildcard just qualified to the main stage. And you know, young Rosta, with little to almost no time of practicing, just knocked down a pretty good team, and it's getting to play in the main stage. Woo!
This is insane. Like, I'm literally like shaking a little bit. I mean, that was a crazy game. I cannot believe it. It's always like, it's crazy to me because if you go back like 8 months ago, I was in like tier 2, and now I'm just about to go play on a main stage at an event. This is insane.
Yeah, now you look back and, you know, it's all worth it. All that you have lived and all the games that you've played, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, especially like being on a main stage in Brazil is going to be crazy. Like, you saw the Sao Paulo Invitational, that crowd was insane. I can't imagine like what this Rio one's going to be like. It's going to be electric. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, for sure. What was the conversation before the match? You know, it's such an important game for you. If you had not win, if you didn't win this game, you would be out. So, what, you know, the coach said something, your teammates told you something. What was the conversation?
I mean, it's just like every other game. We're going to go into it. If we lose, it is what it is. Like, no matter what, a loss for us is not a loss unless we lose and we give up and, like, you know, we're not trying, we're like not fighting for the rounds. But as long as we're like playing the game, we're having fun, every game is a win for us. So there's really nothing to lose as long as we're having fun, enjoying ourselves.
That's great. That's really great. Take notes, teams. Take notes. Now you just, won a 7-2 game, and you have won all your defenses. But Wildcard has one of the worst attacks of reload. How did you work to improve that and to, close the game in 7-2?
I don't think our attacks are that bad. It's just like, I think the percentage is probably bad because we're averaging like 3 attacks a game right now. It's just like we go up like 5-1, 6-0 every time. I don't know how we're doing it, but we're doing it. So we've probably lost like 4 attacks.
Yeah.
The
numbers are doing you wrong, right?
The numbers are lying. They don't know the true wild card.
Yeah. What is the true wild card? What does that mean?
I don't know. I guess we'll see on the main stage.
Ooh, okay. Congrats, Vey. Congratulations. Yeah, let's see in the main stage what the true wild card is.
Yeah, that's the big challenge. Who will Wildcard be once they make the main stage? We love seeing underdogs that really sit in that big stage for the first time ever. We've seen it in Manchester a year ago and what happened with Beast Coast. And here, look at the squad of Wildcard. They absolutely demolished Secret, a team that we were thinking, my God, Secret, they're going to be so great. They took down some of the biggest names there are, but it doesn't matter in a moment like this.
I mean, the two consistents are Wildcard constantly adapting, especially on the way of their defenses, and the other consistent is really rough game from Joom. It just looked like Secret didn't have the firepower to even match Wildcard, and they didn't really necessarily have a good response in the way that they wanted to play strategically.
I would say if there's a third or an X factor that I can add is just Dash, because the man is absolutely insane.
I think he exploited every single blind spot that was in front of him. I think that's what amazed me the most. His positioning all the time, and we'll talk about it later, but in many different rounds, he made the difference by hiding in a certain point. And not only Dash, Spiker did it. Kanzan did it when he was hiding on CO window when we saw the highlights there. In so many instances, Secret is missing critical information of the understanding of where Wildcard is and consistently attacking blindly. Now, it's tough to attack on Consulate, I'm not gonna lie, but still, to lose 6-0 on that side, to not put a single attack, that was too much.
The biggest issue being you can't identify where Wildcard is playing because they're constantly rotating off of their information. So in those situations, you'd think, all right, let's bring some information operators. Let's try to figure out what Wildcard are so we can just focus on an individual pick and then go from there. But it just looked like they were constantly trying to slam their head against the wall to get inside the building, and they'd lose somebody and they're like, all right, let's just keep going. He probably ran away instead of just trying to actually identify it and focusing on that one person to get inside first.
I would say disappointing.
Yeah, very disappointing.
A disappointing end. Very, very much a dud at the end of all of this because we were expecting a bit more out of it. But you can't be at 100% all the time. And I have to say, Team Secret, if anything, they were 100% in all the other games. Keeping it up for a fifth day might be a bit too much of an ask of a team that was literally formed like a month ago that they started practicing together. So we have to give the kudos now. Incredible performance. Can't wait to see it in the ML.
And their name fits them very well. They're the wild card of the tournament. They're the new rookies. I actually met them in Houston when I flew here. We're on the same plane. And I was talking with these guys, put together, like you said, only a month ago. So many young rookies debut. Again, I will say this, T1 debut for Baby Shark. Once again, carried by Dash, yes, but still amazing team play from everyone. Getting to that main stage, it must feel incredible for these guys that were stuck in Tier 2 only a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blissful feeling because just like Bay said, there's no pressure on their shoulders. They've gotten farther than they really expected to, and now it's all about enjoying the experience because obviously first time playing in front of a crowd is nerve-wracking. You need to be able to experience that. Whether they win or lose, they'll be able to take from it and be able to go from there. And honestly, I'm getting flavors of an early Beast Coast roster from these players because every player is not only good individually, but they're very smart players intellectually. So they're always focused on the next point. We get a pick, what's the goal? It's not ego picking, overextending. They're just playing their job and they're doing it well.
Playing against or with a crowd is one thing, a Brazilian crowd is another. However, our black-like detail for our third matchup. Leo moves on. And what do you got for us?
Well, it's actually a great example of how Dash is exploiting those blind spots. Now, this is going to be a 4K from him. And we're actually going to be on meeting here. And they're downstairs. They're holding the piano side, okay? And in this scenario, it's a 5v3. Right now, Secret is in the lead. and they can literally execute here on exhibition. Now, I want you to pay attention to Dash, who was upstairs. He's gonna come down and challenge you. He needs the first pick. Isolate that 1v1, gets rid of him. Now, as soon as he gets the pick, it's still a 2v4. In this scenario, look at him. He's gonna pick here gallery, and he's gonna understand I cannot deny the plant if they go here in Expo, because they have top floor control. As soon as he understands that going here, he's not going to be able to deny the plant, he's going to rotate and flank towards the spiral stairs. He needs to get rid of the cover and of the flank. And of the plant right now. Gets rid of the cover. As soon as the cover is down, boom, goes for the plant, gets rid of it. As soon as this is done, once again, you do not see him rushing onto the bomb site. He's dropped the diffuser. He's going to use the sand scanner here to cover himself and play as safe as possible. Once again, look at his positioning. This, right now, is key. He's gonna move in a way where he can protect the diffuser that he's just dropped and at the same time use the smoke as a cover. In this scenario, he's isolating a 1v1. Whoever wants to retake the diffuser is gonna have to show his back to Dash. And in this scenario, once again, by his perfect positioning, he gets another free kill, another 1v1. Now, is he rushing to anyone? No. He's gonna go and play safe. He has time with him. You see him rotate here? Why is he putting himself in that corner? He has a shotgun. And in this scenario, once again, the only spots where he can get picked are close-range gunfights. If anyone is challenging him, it's a free kill with a shotgun. And this is why you see him pre-fire at the last minute. Boom, no one gets him. Single-handedly denied a 2v5. That is an incredible positioning and skill set from Dash. Now, we're gonna see G2 play Dark Zero after a short break.